Please don't feel like you have to
Yeah,
gift
no,
me anything. If anything, gift the
not at all.
host. Thank you, Salz, for hosting. Much love and respect to you, the panelists, and the chat.
Yes, for sure. So if anybody, yeah, for you guys that are coming in, we're gonna I heard a clip the other night um from, oh god, I don't want to say their names, but from, the husband and wife couple, and they have been trying to kind of change the narrative of everything that's happened. I don't know. I don't know if you guys remember. Elena was one of the people that was on the call where the clip came from, of him talking. So she doesn't like that he's kind of changing the narrative and kind of putting bad on them, saying that they coerced him into saying the things that he did. So we just want to I'm going to play the clip for them. They haven't heard it yet. I just found it. Casey Reinders found it. But so I'm gonna play that for them and kind of get it out there and see how they're trying to spin this again. And it's pretty crazy. Let me see, who is that?
Right. And just to warn everyone, I am overly caffeinated, but I cracked open an energy drink in preparation for having a live. I didn't know who was going to host and how it was going to go. We're kind of winging this. So please forgive me if I am haphazardly stumbling and fumbling my way through my sentences, my thoughts. But I'm here, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you guys all for being here. I see everybody saying hey in the comments, and I'm glad you guys are here too. I know it's late. I think Bree and Sheena might be live too, so don't feel like obligated to be here. We're just gonna go through this clip and, like I said, kind of take it from there. But we definitely think it's something that needs to be addressed. Yes.
We don't want you getting any heat for having us on panel. I understand we're not the two most popular people.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm less popular than you guys are. So don't worry. Like, it's fine. Don't worry.
I would like to say one thing. Out of everyone who was involved in that call, minus the husband and the wife, the people who came forward, I am pretty much the only one left. I know Susie is still active and still supporting the husband and the wife. And so essentially I have no one to protect anymore. So I think it should be noticed that I am the only one who is able to speak on this now and willing to speak on this in truth and honesty. So let's do this. I'm ready.
All right. So again, what we're doing, this is a clip from the 29th. So it's just a few days ago. I just happened to be scrolling on my backup and I saw and heard what was being said. So I kind of let Elena know, kind of just, paraphrased what they said, but I want her to be able to hear it. Yes.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to make sure, are you okay and what's going on?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm fine. So
Okay.
I probably mentioned it before. They have kind of twisted the situation that happened, after everything happened, even all the girls that were on the call, even like Bayou Bell and Susie went on Mimi's panel and they all said like, we acknowledge that, it was bad. We understand that like he's not okay. We want him to get help. All of these things. And that was good, right? And I said the same thing. He needs help. He's not okay. And it's not okay to say those things, whatever. But that's not what's happened. He went live and he said, I regret nothing, blah, blah, blah. And then they kind of had, I don't know, a bit of a break. I may be wrong. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. But then I saw these like flyers that they made saying that like, we're trying to, well, I don't want to say whatever. Somebody's trying to take him down. They're putting false accusations. all this. So it's like, you know, the smear campaign thing, like, and it's damage control. So they're trying to say that whoever, I don't want to say because they haven't specifically named me, but they're trying to say that this is all a coordinated like attack based on, like, you know, because they're covering Gypsy Rose. So I want to make sure that people know the truth, number one, and that they're not blaming Bree and all of her people. And God, I don't even want to say it, but Gypsy Rose, this has nothing to fucking do with her. It has nothing to do with her. So I'm
No.
hearing these people who are still supporting them saying that this was, you know, an attack from that and all this stuff. And he's taking no accountability for what was done, and it's being excused now. And it's just gonna snowball. If the truth is not put out there, and they have been blamed enough for enough bullshit. So Elena doesn't like the way that they are portraying her, saying that, you know, I'm going to let you guys hear it, but if I remember correctly, he
I don't
basically
blame
says
her.
that, yeah, that we clipped together his the things that he was saying on that, and it's
Okay.
just it's like I said, we're just gonna play it. I haven't even
I
gone
was
through
just
the
checking on you, girl.
yeah,
I
no,
was
no, I'm
like,
okay. Which, by the way, I
okay.
love your profile picture. I got to do one. I need one. Who made them? I need one. Oh my God.
Thank
She
you.
has it too. Oh God, I need one. All right. Okay. So
All
if
right.
you
I
guys
love
are
you. All
ready,
right. I'll
I
mute.
love you
Oh,
too.
Yep.
All right.
Go
I'm going
ahead.
to go ahead and play
one
it.
thing I have
Yes.
not heard the Mimi live where Susie and Bayou, and I have not heard this clip, so I'm coming in. I'm completely blind coming into
Okay.
this.
I would, if not tonight, maybe tomorrow, if we can't get it tonight, I would like you to hear that, because yeah, I found that live very interesting, the way that they were spinning things. So maybe, yeah, we'll try to go through that too.
I did
Okay.
as well. Yeah, and I have it as well, like we discussed.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And that's why the only thing that you'll ever
Hold
hear
on.
from Discord from me is two fucking
Let me,
calls.
hold on. Let me go back just a little bit.
To 3 hackers. I mean, they were specific. I gave your information to 3 hackers. Now that shit is threatening to me, you know.
Then she
And
said,
so, I mean,
"Then give me your address. I'll fly to your house right now."
yep, I'll catch a flight.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry. They were talking about how Fez and Puffy's situation is the same as theirs. Okay.
And I mean, and so that happened, and it was the same. You know, I felt like they should have been held to the same standard. Of course, they weren't. And then
And that was on the live,
thing
correct?
happened.
Yeah.
Yep. It was on 2 different lives, and it actually started in the Discord, the CTW that I'm in. And so,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So, I mean, that was a big to do. And so,
Crazy.
and the funny thing was, I mean, apparently, I guess your situation happened on a live, and they got you to go to a Discord. This shit was going on.
No.
a live, And
Mine
then
did
she
not
went,
happen on a live, Carol. What happened
Okay.
was,
I
no,
misunderstood
I can
that.
actually tell you because I don't know fucking how to do stuff. I'll just tell y'all, like, I was lured into a fucking Discord. I don't fuck with Discord. And that's why the only thing that you'll ever hear from Discord from me is 2 fucking calls. And they were the same individuals. I'm not going to put their names out there. Y'all already know who it is. There's only 2 calls. The very first one, this is the reason why they'll never release the calls. First and foremost, because my children's personal medical information is in both of these fucking phone calls. Because it's from some fucking bitch I thought I could trust. Some other fucking bitch I thought I could trust. The other reason is because I said at the very beginning, whenever they lured me in from 2 people that I trusted very, very well, they didn't know that they were being used. As soon as I got in, I said, this is fucking disgusting. It's gross, and I do not want to be a part of it. They assured me there's no fuckery, none of this, blah, 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 blah. The second phone call, I asked for it. Because as Rose said before, you know, like we've never been in a situation so I don't do such. Like, I don't got time for that shit. I started doing this shit because, my wife is into the fighting with me. So I started doing this shit with her, right? I thought I was talking to people I could trust. So I went in and I asked for this phone call so I could try to process my feelings. They knew that.
Well, why we asked for the phone call was because on Mimi's panel, he said the whole, right?
Yeah, the whole if you come over here, yada yada yada.
Yeah, y'all know what that was. And so then we called the thing, and we were like, hey,
because somebody that I highly respect.
well, let me tell y'all something.
Hold on,
Somebody come at me.
Hold on, man.
I'm gonna let y'all know.
A person that I highly respected, fucked me over and helped, exploit me. But they were disappointed in something that they thought that I said. So I wanted to clarify. And that's the reason why I made, a request for this Discord call. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to explain the reason why I said what I said, what I actually meant by it, so that there was no confusion. And
Yeah, well,
that
I've had a lot of
person
people-
edited that fucking phone call. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. It's my birthday. No, it's 30 minutes. I'm sorry. No, I'm just being honest. Like, there's been a lot of rumors spread about me as well, personally and professionally, and all the things. And I just came on, online to, do some art and crafts, and I thought this was going to be fun. And I thought we were just having a good time and shit. But, yeah, I noticed, about the same time y'all did, because that this is not exactly what's happening here. And, I prayed for discernment. And I think God has led me in the right path. And it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how they infer things or twist or whatever they do. It doesn't matter because I know who I am. You know who you are. And the other things don't matter because they're going to think what they want to think anyway. I'm not trying to prove it. Now, if you want to get in my showcase, y'all feel free. I mean, I'm going to get some commission off that. And that sounds very
get
good.
some good shit in your showcase, and I get some off of it, 'cause I got some shit off a big showcase, and this is the motherfucker this on.
Well, you got to go off my show because, see, I literally will do some good showcases, okay?
I got
what
to check it out there.
Yeah, you do.
No, I didn't.
Look, Medicube, I ain't gonna lie. Gypsy needed that 20 years ago. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna help with them like
No, hey, but look, hold on, real quick, look, real talk, man. All bullshit is something. Look, man. Fuck all the dumb shit. Everybody gets talked about on this app because the moment that you decide to voice your opinion in a public space, people are going to attack you. Period. So you have to be prepared for all of that and understand that that's all static.
Yeah.
You got to stay focused on it.
You also got to remember that, the whole situation with us, if you look at how it really started, where it resonated came from, it's descendant to you know what I'm saying? I feel literally.
Oh no, Rose, I'm gonna go with you on that 100. I think that she is kind of the puppet master tier behind a lot of the shenanigans. shenanigans is what I'm going to say. And that's sad. If you people are going to take that little smurder, like micro-deleted, dumbass puppeteering behind the scenes, then y'all need to wake the fuck up. And that's just my opinion. And that's for entertainment, ball-headed purposes only.
Bald-headed OJ, bald-headed OJ.
Yeah, she does everything by proxy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also the fact that we're team no baby, which means there is a baby. It's a real life baby. However, that baby did not come out of her body.
Nope.
So it did not come out of her vagina. I can tell you right now because I've done seen her vagina. She showed it to everybody. She showed it to everybody. She showed it. The tape.
Birthday girl. Birthday girl. We use TikTok safe words and we say bye.
That baby did not come out of her body. I mean, maybe that baby's happy, but
that gypsy ain't that baby's mama.
That baby did not come out of Gypsy's body.
Her taint. That taint is very short. That would have blew out her taint.
And so the fact that we believe that and we talk about that, I know they don't like it, and that's fine. You don't have to like it, but like last I checked, we live in America and we have freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
And like we want to use our like
she's the real runner of this time.
To make discernment on things, and you know it just really doesn't add up. And I literally just posted a picture the other day showing like Gypsy has a belly and he's flat stomach it 3 days before she has her baby. Like it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense.
That's right. And if you look at the images that Krusty posted on her own social media, on Christmas Day,
those pictures came from Krusty. That is
3 different sizes on one day.
She posted those, and
wow.
I think Krusty kind of like that.
You gonna make me put on that motherfucking
Krusty gonna be the downfall of the whole motherfucking road. She gonna be like, she gonna be the raid. Krusty is the raid, y'all. Come on now. Yeah. Let's give Krusty a holla.
Yeah, Krusty to the front of the class.
Krusty Krab. Y'all quit calling her Krusty. It's Krusty Krab.
No, but I'm just saying, if you want to expose her, fucking do it. Don't, you know what I'm saying?
Beeswax, you in trouble, girl. 5 minutes.
Wait, what I did? What I
did? 5 minutes, Bees. 5 minutes.
Listen to the Ronditis.
That's right. Ronditis. This is her live. Shit.
Oh, wait. Is it your birthday?
Not yet. Yeah. About 24 minutes. Because.
All right, I didn't listen to the whole thing, so I don't know if they talk about it more, but I'll go ahead and pause there. How has that lady seen Gypsy's vagina?
like I said, it sounds like they're from a fucking cartoon. Like, I can't believe, what the fuck are they saying? Like, it's so insane to me.
So I can tell you exactly how people have seen Gypsy's private areas. Same as I still have it on my Chromebook. Chewy and Rose and 1 ounce of Jameson made sure to send me the complete video of Gypsy and the holes unredacted. They were passing that around like it was Skittles.
Stop it. I heard that he was asking for it. I didn't know that he actually got it. And that's
it is on my Chromebook right now. Out of respect, I will not show that or play it because that is disgusting. But Chewy and Rose and 1 ounce of Jameson made sure that was sent to me, the entire 45-minute video, completely unredacted.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Also,
oh my god.
I just want to say something. Them having Cindy Lou on their panel, I think everyone should be aware that we were told, in fact, we were warned by Chewy himself to avoid her because of some legal stuff that was coming her way. And so Chewy and Rose were also trying to give her the cold shoulder
Is
because they
that
didn't
who
want
was
to
up
be
there?
complicit or
It's just that
involved.
I didn't
Cindy,
realize she was up there. My
Cindy
bad.
Lou is the one that said we've seen her whole. Yeah.
Well,
Oh
according to
my god.
Chewy, Cindy is the individual who pulled the child's medical records.
She
And
is.
so we were warned by Chewy and Rose to stay far away from her, do not become involved with her, and yet they have her on their panel. So
Yeah, Cindy Lou is the one that pulled the records and gave it to Broken Hearted.
Lady B, were you also warned?
Sorry, I apologize. What was that?
Did they tell you to stay away from Cindy because of her involvement in pulling Gypsy's child's medical records?
Oh, yes. 1,000%. 1,000%.
And yet they have her on their panel. They're desperate for people to support them and accept
Oh my, how the
them.
mighty have fallen.
Yeah, it's very sad.
So I don't know if you guys can see, Miss Myra said in the chat that she knows, she says, I know how they've gotten there. Were two other people that had it, and she said she can explain that, just to let you guys know.
Does she want to explain on panel, or is this something she wants to handle privately? I want to give her that option because of what she experienced coming forward and doing the right thing. She did the right thing.
I seen in the comments that she can come up for a few minutes, but not my live, so totally up to Sal's.
I want her to be able to speak, but I also don't want to upset anybody in the chat. I mean, if anybody is against this, let me know. I don't want to oh God, guys, I don't know. This is a very difficult position to be in.
I would say this is an opportunity to get clarification and enlightenment on something that's very important to our community. So if you can set your feelings aside, I know emotions are heightened around certain circumstances regarding Myra and, past people, certain individuals, but please, listen to what's being said and try to hold your biases in check for who is saying it. I think she means well, and again, she's risking exposure by speaking. So I would just ask, please be respectful.
Right, and
I have no issue, no problem. So
okay, we're just going to separate the two things. She was a part of this, and yeah, I think that she has a right to speak. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let her up. If anybody is bothered by it, I understand. I respect you guys, and yeah, I respect your opinion. Like I said, this is a difficult situation. But yeah, we're all kind of figuring it out together. Hey, Myra.
Hey, Myra.
Hi, everyone.
Did you guys hear though that them saying that you guys clipped it together and he was lured into this and he was told that he was going to go in and be able to express his feelings in a safe environment? Do you see what I'm saying? There's no accountability at all. It's just been turned.
So
I'm going to shut up. Okay,
I'm just going to explain this, and Elena can back me up on this. So there were 2 Discord calls, okay? One of them, and I know the situation is very complicated to explain it. One of them was about, we wanted to talk to him about Gia. Because there were things that we caught on that Gia was doing behind the scenes, and we wanted to let them know. And I don't remember. Like, I think was it Susie that reached out to them and said, "Hey, can we talk on Discord? We have to show you something about Gia." And then that's how eventually I created the server, and then we got on Discord. But that's like separate, and that was like back in when, like April. We never talked to Chewy and Rose on Discord.
I think it was
Other-
in May. Bayou Bell,
Was
Bayou Bell sent me the screenshots of when that
Okay, it
call
was like in
happened.
May.
And
Oh,
I
was it?
have to verify, but I'm pretty sure it was in May.
Like, but it was early May. It wasn't. Yeah, but it was like right after the whole fallout that happened with Gia, and we wanted to show him that stuff.
Yeah, we were
So-
always trying to warn them of
Yes.
these people that they were bringing into their spaces and who were dangerous people. So that was the point of the first call. And initially Rose showed up, but Chewy just couldn't stand talking in the background, letting Rose having the podium. So then he himself joined the call on his own Discord account.
Yes. So and that was pretty much, that was the first call. And then the second time, Susie, and this was around like the June 13th time, I remember the date.
Yes, I have screenshots and the metadata from
Me
that
too.
call.
Me too. I
Yes.
have that too.
Mhm.
Susie was reaching out to us in the group chat. She asked us if we can go on Discord with Chewy and Rose because she was on the phone with them. It was their request. They wanted to talk to us. So,
Wait, you got to say why though.
yes, I'm going to get to that point
Okay.
because that's when you and me, Elena, and Peachy, we were talking separately. And I was like, hey, they want us to be on a Discord call. Do you have any idea why this would be? So we were just trying to figure out what the heck was the call all about. So we got on the call. And the reason why they wanted to get on the call was to apologize to us for the Booty Bandit stuff because they saw on Elena's story, Elena posted a story on her TikTok page where she put up the definition of Booty Bandit. It was like on Google search. She put a screenshot of that. And then she put the clip where he was talking about that in
And then-
reference to Salz.
I also posted Conspiracy's post. I took a screenshot of her post and I added that. Rose saw that, went to Chewy and said, shit, I think we've lost Elena.
Yes.
Rose reached out to Susie to ask to get us all on a call so he could address and ended up trying to excuse why he said that.
Yes, to explain himself, and he was trying to apologize to all of us for that. But Peachy was like, hey, are you going to apologize to Salz? It's not directly to us, but she was asking him, will you apologize for saying that about Salz? Will you address it?
And by the way, Rose on the call says, even I couldn't believe that I was disgusted. I was offended. And I didn't understand why he would say that.
Yep, that too.
Again, the call, it didn't matter what solutions or what advice we offered him. He was not receptive to any of it. He didn't want solutions.
I gave him a solution. Remember
all
the
did.
solution? We all
We
did.
all
I said to
did.
him, I said to Rose directly, hey, you know, I understand everybody's angry. There's that situation, but if somebody messages you, like anybody from your community or anybody that doesn't like Salz, like all I said to her was, hey, will you like just try to ignore it and just tell them, hey, don't tell me anything about Salz. I don't want to hear it. Don't, you know, so they could focus on whatever they wanted to do on their TikTok panels or whatever, instead of like continuously talking about it. So that was the solution that
Yeah.
I provided to them.
And I chimed
that
in.
call.
I chimed in after Myra said that, and I said, when you surround yourself with people like Mimi and you allow her to host you on her panel, and she is a predatory person on people's vulnerabilities. When you surround yourself with someone who does that and who will stream someone's live and benefit from your reaction, your emotional volatility, that's not a friend.
Yes, we did mention that to him too, because I did ask him, weren't you on panel? Was it like Mimi held alive and they were playing a live replay?
And you gave credit to Susan for being the only one
Yes,
who said something.
for being the only one who said something, and everybody else was like.
And Susan said, okay, Chewy, calm down. And he doubled, tripled down.
Yes.
And what did he say when we said the stuff about Mimi on the call? He said,
that I was right.
He said, well, right. Mimi hasn't done anything to us.
Yes, he said that Mimi will continue to defend them. And I said to him, well, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's a real friend if she's going to continuously, talk about it and get you all riled up for it. That's not what a friend does.
I'd also told him, I said, it's a pattern of hers. Anytime Mimi has a big panel, she'll go all day and she'll drop little Easter eggs.
Yes.
Oh, I'm having this live tonight. You don't want to miss it. And then she'll have her live and she'll panel a victim in some capacity. And she'll get a percentage of the gifts. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, when you gift someone in a live, the host gets a percentage of that.
Yes.
Not only that, but the agency that Mimi is a part of, or was a part of, they have hours that they have to clock in. They have to make certain hours in order to maintain with the agency. Lady V can attest to this, I think.
Yes. And
Yes,
Mimi
I
was
can.
recruiting. Mimi
And you
was
notice-
recruiting people to join that agency.
Yes, and you notice shit always pops off on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and the lives are fueled throughout the weekend until the next Wednesday. And what happens on Wednesdays, Salz?
It starts over again. Oh, you mean? Oh, they get paid.
They get paid.
Yeah.
Like this,
They get
it
paid
starts
on
over
Wednesdays.
again.
So those of you who are like, hey, this feels scripted, you're asking the right questions.
Additionally,
that's a big part of it. But
Oh, Copy Queen says no, they don't make us go live.
oh, they don't. I thought you had to clock hours. Like, you have to be like a lot. Well, maybe it's different agencies, but I know that I've seen them say like you have to go like live like 30 minutes a day or something. Because I've heard people say like, yeah, I'm here to just get my. Or you have to do like 3 battles a week or something. Do they make you do battles, Coffee?
Like, I heard a private, not so private live in which people were arguing over who could go live and who is going to be able to make their hours. Maybe I misheard that, but
No, I heard that too, but maybe it's different agencies have different requirements.
okay. Well, that's
Well,
something
I heard
to.
that in my own. I heard that in my very famous private, not so private live. That conversation actually happened on that live as well, with all of us who were going to. We all needed to get our time, and every single one of us needed to be able to go live as well, not just Mimi.
Yes, ma'am. That's the live that I'm referencing.
To clear up the agency that we're in that she just got kicked from, no, they would like you to. They do not force you to. They do not force you to battle or anything like that.
No, they
It's
don't.
absolutely free. And if, like, say your account goes down, that's when they step in and they try to get it back. But no, they don't make us go live or nothing.
Did you see Mimi
They would like
posted
for you-
a message saying that she's the one who
yeah.
told them to drop her?
That was total bullshit. Just like she says, I'm the one that called CPS on her and hacked her. You know, it was me, you, and Reggie. It's just Steph. We supposedly hacked her phone and her TikTok, and we called CPS on her. She's fucking delusional.
Yeah, she's grasping at straws, trying to find anything.
I said, did you see those? Salz?
What, that we were all involved with it?
That we hacked her shit and called CPS?
Yeah,
Did you see
yeah.
the-
I heard I was in another gang. I'm always in these gangs of people. So I was going to point that out too. Like, they were talking about, bringing their concerns about Mimi to them. Sparky did that as well, and she was ostracized. There was somebody, Pony said the same thing. Like, Mimi is not good. She was ostracized. So there's a lot of links together, and you just have to look at the common denominators, and I don't know. But I mean, I know that she's on the outs right now, but she will work her way back in, just like they are trying to. I need to post it. Let me see if I have it on here, but I'll kind of read to you, if I can find it, what they are claiming is happening to them right now. And I mean, I'm sure by now everybody's heard the phone call, and I'm not trying to sit here and be like, I'm a victim, blah, 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 whatever. But it definitely wasn't whatever it is that I did, whatever the worst thing that they could say that I did, nobody deserves to be talked about the way that he did. So yeah, they have this thing, and it says, truth, justice, Claudine. We will not be silenced, bullied, harassed, falsely accused, attacked, intimidated, canceled. We see you. We won't be scared. We stand for Claudine Blanchard, a voice for the voiceless. Our mission, justice for Claudine, truth over lives, awareness, accountability, never forget. To those sent to silence us, we won't quit, we won't disappear, we won't be intimidated, we won't stop speaking the truth. Truth is louder than lies. We see through the lies. And they actually have like a phone. It looks like a phone, and it says, the ship is going down. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. The person's name is someone sent to attack us. The ship is going down. We're going to expose them. We'll share things about them people aren't going to like. We want to cancel them. We're not going down, or we're not going anywhere. We're just getting started. We will get through this. Our message, our purpose, our power. So I don't know does that sound like somebody who's like getting help with his emotional issues, that, because he like threatened, a random person on the internet? I don't know.
Well, I just
number
have to
one.
say this.
Sorry, go ahead.
Look, I understand there's people that they want to hear the call. They want to hear what was being said on that call. There was a lot of stuff that was talked on the call. It's not what was on the call. The last 20 minutes of it, it's when I heard him say, I know who Salz is. That immediately gave me that signal, he knows something. So I said, you might as well check her Facebook account. And that's when he started divulging how he got Salz's information. And he went on with that.
It should be noted that when he confessed all of that stuff, it was at the end of the call, and I had dropped, Peachy had dropped, Susie had dropped, and Myra was already I want to say 80% asleep. Like at the end of the call, she was snoring.
I was half asleep, but when I heard him say that, and I said that's when he started saying all of that stuff.
Yes. So us clipping all that stuff together, no, he confessed. And this is the other thing. We didn't rile him up, okay?
Nobody did.
In fact, part of what I do in working with the mentally ill, people who are in active psychosis, you're trained on de-escalation. You have trauma-informed care, okay? So the role that I was taking was to offer solutions, to encourage him in healthy coping mechanisms, but to also say, hey, those are inside thoughts. You shouldn't say that. or hey, that sounds like AI psychosis. We can go into those details later. But when he confesses all of that stuff on that clip, that's at the end of the call, and it wasn't us riling him up. How can you rile someone up to confess to crimes that he had already committed? It was done. It was done. And it was still actively happening. He confessed at the end of the call.
Yes, he did.
We were exhausted.
And for me, it was like, see, like, and that's the whole issue. It's like people were saying he was egged on, he was riled up. No, he was not. He was not. For a while, like, I know, like, when Anna came back into the scene and she offered to show those messages, and then, and this was going on for weeks now. At that point, we hear stuff about something happening to Salz. Like Sheena said that she knows that Salz was being cyberbullied, and then we hear him on separate lives, like late at night. Not like I was there present, but I was seeing messages coming in the chat, and then there were some. Not all of his live replays were being posted on the replays channel, but him going off on those rants. So at that point, it was like, what the hell is going on? Why is he continuing with this? Because
it should be noted that when Chewy goes on these rants, who's there riling him up? His wife.
His wife,
Well,
yes.
Can I answer?
Please.
Is it Queen Rose for 500, Alex?
That is correct. Yes.
Yes.
Well,
And it was the
If you
same.
guys listen to him, he doesn't let anybody else speak. So
Right. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me just get this. Hold on.
that, yeah.
He'll even do it to Rose. Okay. And that's exactly how that call was.
Hold on a minute. Just let me finish what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how that call went. Okay. Any solution that we offered, he would excuse, and then he would justify why he wouldn't do that. Just listen to how he talks. Go and listen to his rants. Okay.
Here's my question, real quick. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, girl.
No, please. I want people to ask questions. Please.
Well, like what Salz was saying about his posts, like with Dee Dee and everything, like what the hell does Salz have to do with Dee Dee? Like that, I didn't quite understand that
They are
part.
saying that I am working for whatever the FBI gypsy. And I just need to make it clear. I don't speak about it a lot because I removed myself from all of the fuckery, but I am not pro gypsy.
Not
I will
wrong.
never be pro gypsy. I am not working in her.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, and I never would. There is another one that they did. Our ship is unsinkable, and it's like a ship. It says Truth, Justice, Claudine. This is them spinning it. They sent hate. They sent lies. They sent people to attack us, but they didn't break us. No lies can sink the truth. We will not quit. We won't be silenced. We won't be scared. We won't stop talking. We won't stop speaking the truth. We are strong. We keep going.
People need to
It sounds
realize
like-
this has nothing
It sounds like
to
straight
do.
up paranoia. Am I
Yes.
Am I
This has
right? Like it
nothing-
sounds like paranoia.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the pro side.
No,
The
absolutely.
People who were
Nothing.
closest to Chewy and Rose, we were the ones who said, oh my God, he is committing crimes. Holy shit. We could be seen as being complicit in crimes. And Susie knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yes.
In fact, Susie offered some special services involving her brother-in-law and the dark web on
Yes,
that
she
call.
did. Yes,
Well,
she
I
did
don't
say
blame
that.
I don't blame you two for getting away when you guys did, because yeah, I mean, I would be freaked out if I was in that position. I'd be like, hell no, I don't want no part of this. You know.
Well,
it was
I
the
did
most
say
natural.
something.
It was the most natural thought process for me.
Yeah, I did say to Susie when she said that, I said, dude, that's illegal. That's illegal.
Yes.
And then Chewy chimed in and said, I know it's not. And then he started saying some stupid law. I don't fucking remember what law it was, but he was like, no, it's not illegal.
It's
And then
too
he's trying to
costly.
explain why.
Yeah, he was saying it's too costly for them to investigate it and convict on some, I guess, like cyberbullying shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, but when you send people to someone's address
Mm-hmm.
and he knows what type of people he sent, it's a hate crime. And it's a federal crime because it crosses state borders.
Yeah, and he's acting like he knows, the laws, and at the end of the day, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah, I know. And what's crazy is he has people who are in the legal field. They're advising him, still supporting him. I don't know how the hell they can do that. Unless they themselves are also complicit in the crimes.
Or they
I don't know if I unblocked that one specifically, but
allegedly. I want to say allegedly.
Yeah, those specifically. But if anybody knows these people that we're discussing, minus the couple, they are welcome to come in here and speak for themselves, talk about it. I actually wish that they would.
Me too.
Yeah, maybe they have tunnel vision and they're seeing things an opposite, a different way, and maybe it would enlighten them, because there is still this narrative being pushed that they never spoke about me and I was relentless. If anybody does, acknowledge that it was wrong of what he said, I pushed him to it. I made him go that far because he was protecting his family. And I want to bring up too the text messages that Mimi posted on her page. I think they're still there, of her between her and Lady V. It starts out with them talking about playing a clip. We couldn't figure out what clip it was. We have now. So what it was right around the time that Bree's Discord had gotten leaked to Becca Scoops, and I was being accused of being a predator because even though I didn't have the photos, never claimed I had the photos, they said I went to their Facebook, I saw pictures of their children, that made me a predator. So I asked Bree on a live, I said, there's pictures of kids in there, right? And she said, oh yeah, absolutely. There's private family photos, everything. So I said, okay, well that by their logic, that makes Becca Scoops a predator, correct? So that's the clip that they were talking about playing. And the reason why Lady V was saying we got to wait and get confirmation from Becca was going through and making sure that, for some reason, I guess they thought that I was in Bree's Discord, and she was confirming that there was no pictures of their children. So this was on March 29th, about 2 weeks after, the whole blow up happened. It was on the 15th, I believe. And so they knew on the 29th then that no photos of their children had been posted. If I was the person that they think that I am in the FBI doing this for Gypsy and I'm a creep and everything, Becca Scoops would have found it, right? They didn't. So they knew that this was not an issue that happened. But they still continued on to push that narrative, to call me, oh, bye, Adrian, to call me everything that they did. Like I said, I just want to point that out, that they absolutely were aware, number one, and number two, and we won't get into all of this, but they are definitely in contact with Becca Scoops, and she is aware of a lot of the things that they are doing. And it's, again, concerning because of, how they believe and how they act and everything else, and, how they're treating people. And yeah, so I'm all right. I'm going to shut up now.
Would you like me to explain that part on my end, Miss Salz?
Yeah, no, go ahead, please. Yeah, elaborate.
So, you guys know a couple weeks ago I went on Sheena's panel. That was obviously extremely hard. It still is. When Mimi posted that screen recording where, yes, she has my 16-year-old son on there as well, completely unredacted, Salz and I were talking, and she asked me about exactly what you see. You see the screenshot that I had sent to Mimi, and underneath it, you guys can all clearly see from Mimi's recording that I tell her, you cannot, like, you cannot say that you got this from me, keep my name out of it, but we cannot play this yet. We can't play it. The way that whole conversation went is I had sent that clip to Chewy and Rose as well. And Salz and Elena, can you guys please confirm for me that you have seen everything that I'm getting ready to say?
Yes, I can confirm as you relay the information. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I had screen recorded that exact circumstance that Sal's just explained, and I can play the clip if you guys need it played. In the caption of the email that I wrote to Becca, it says, let me pull it back up, hold on. It says on March 29th, what I sent to Becca at 12:50 p.m. It says, Predator comment by Sal's about you, and I sent her the clip. When that happened, and when I had sent it to Chewy and Rose, they were ecstatic about that. And that really brought Sal's onto everybody's radar within the Becca world. And what happened from there is Chewy and Rose had told me to tell Mimi that she could not play the clip, she could not do anything until they entered the chat and either had stayed in the chat or gotten on panel. And I needed to confirm with Becca that their children were not in that Discord.
I'm
The
sorry,
message-
if I can interject real quick, because there is a part that I forgot. So after, whenever she said that, she said because if, kids are in there, it would go legal. So what she was saying is if I, posted photos of their children, that they would come after me legally. And
Yes.
I want to tie that into, again, why people are like, oh, why did it take so long? Which it was not even 2 weeks, but why did it take so long for them to disclose, the phone call, to me and, everybody. And that's because he said that he wanted to get my information so he could take it legal. And then part of the reason was they realized, okay, he's not taking it legal. He's still doing this weird stuff and saying these things. And what if, like, are we complicit? What's going to happen if we don't say something? So all of those things coupled together.
Yes, he told us he wanted to take it legal. And then once he started, like when Rose posted in her story, just arrived in Florida for our vacation. In fact, on the call,
Do you
I
guys
said,
mind if I finish?
oh, yes, please, sorry. But yes, he did tell us he wanted to take it legal.
So, in the comment that is so eloquently posted on Mimi's screen recording, I say specifically, please keep this to yourself until Tree and Rose get it. She said, absolutely. Then you see her message me, did Becca confirm? That statement is within very simple regards to, did Becca confirm that Chewy and Rose's kids were not in the Discord? I was able to get confirmation that their children were not in the Discord. Chewy and Rose message me, tell me that they're in the chat, they're ready to go, so I send the next message to Mimi, Chewy and Rose are here, play it now. The entire narrative that was set up from that day forward, I was basically instructed to keep my effing mouth shut about the fact that it was confirmed their children were not in that Discord. And that is when the very big narrative completely started with Salz was the predator, Salz had pictures of their kids, and that is how that really cemented itself with them. Because at the time, there were 4 of us who knew that their children were not in that. It was myself, Mimi, Lou-Hoo, Chewy, and Rose. So let's tie little Miss Mimi into this with a beautiful bow as well.
So, can I say something about that? Because when we got on the call that day, Chewy was saying that they were getting ready to get swatted, and Sal Sardi's been relentless. That's the way he started the call, as a way to excuse why he said those things. And I'm like, swatted? Who the hell was swat?
And this
Get
was the
him
graping comment,
swatted.
right? The graping comment you guys were addressing?
Yes, like
Okay.
the whole graping booty bandit stuff.
Yeah, he
And
said that that's why he said the most egregious thing that he could think of. And without going into too much detail, that ties directly to Chewy's own personal childhood trauma. That
yes,
is literally the most egregious thing that he could think of to say to another individual, especially Salz.
and his wife was backing him up on that. Like he was thinking about the most egregious thing to say.
Yeah, and he said that he was so scared. He was so, like, he was fearful. And I told him, I think if you apologize and you allow people to see your vulnerability in that way, I think, they might be receptive to that. But then I also said, even if you do apologize, I don't think you can come back from this. And this was at the start of the call. I told him, I don't think you can come back from this. So when we heard that last, 20 minutes of the call where he confessed everything, I said, oh, he's fucked.
Yeah, it was like the hardest decision because for me it was like, well, he's angry, but at the same time, when he said that part about putting her address on the GPS and all of that, it came down to, well, we have to tell Salz and we have to give her the clip. Like, she has to hear it for herself. And this
then
is like,
him also saying how he thinks everything is a simulation. And he said on the call, I actually think that all of you are part of a computer program in the simulation. Now, he said this, I want to say in the middle of the call. So think about someone who thinks everything is a simulation, who then ruminates on taking violent actions against someone. Who like that type of person who doesn't think the world is real, like that's their reality. Those type of people will commit violent acts to potentially wake themselves up. Okay, this is not these are the beginning stages of someone going into psychosis. And I said on the call when he said, I don't believe any of you are real, I said, that sounds like AI psychosis.
yes, I remember you saying that to him. And I hope that everybody understands this. Like, this is not something that we did not set up this call with him. Like, we wanted to address that. They wanted us on a call. They wanted to talk to us. No one was egging him. No one was rallying him up. It was him trying to explain himself, because the way I look at it, he did talk about how much he was getting out of TikTok from doing these lives and and all of that.
Myra, unbeknownst to us, Bayou Bell knew that she was on the phone with Rose and Lady V when Chewy lost his job. So Bayou Bell knew for months.
I had no idea that he lost his job. Like, he never.
Neither did I.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, everybody's like, the people that support him are saying, oh, he was just, expressing himself or venting out to a group of friends. I'm just going to let everybody know, me and Elena and Peachy, we didn't talk to Chewy and Rose on a daily.
That's right.
Outside of TikTok. Only time we talked to them was either when we would go up on panels, and I stopped going to his lives. I don't even remember. Like, do you remember, Elena, for a while? Because I haven't been in there.
Yeah.
It was for a while. I have not gone up, but a lot of the stuff was coming in our group chat of like, oh, he's talking about Salz and he's saying this, that, and and I was just catching up on the messages. Like, I was not on those panels. Like, I wasn't up late at night.
Well, we were trying to move away, and we were actually looking into the Mackenzie Shirilla case.
Exactly, yeah, because we were already starting that.
But
And
Bayou and Susie were still heavily involved and invested in Chewy and Rose. So in
right.
our group chat, we were constantly getting, and then after Bayou Bell doxed Sal's, we told her, be honest.
Yes, we
Be
did tell her.
honest. Because
We
we
did
knew
tell
that
her.
Chewy was committing crimes. She didn't know that we heard her on that call. She didn't know that we heard the end of that call. So when she came to us panicking because Sal's was like, did you do this? We told her, be honest, because we knew she was complicit in a crime.
And you know what's like the other thing too, like for me, were because remember when we told her to be honest and we were
And
talking
so,
to her that morning, we were on a call with her and we were on messages too after the fact. That all happened though. That's the same day she sent us a screenshot, a screen recording that Rose sent to her with Sal Sardi's information.
yeah.
So I'm like, well, at what point did she really knew her information? Because the way she was making it sound, it was like,
She decoded a phone call
yeah,
that they had. No, that's bullshit.
yeah, that she decoded the names because he was throwing in names in those last 20 minutes.
No, remember she told
Yeah,
us that it was a phone call that she was on with Rose, and Chewy was on a phone call with Posh in the background, and Posh was giving him names, and they were giving it to Bayou Bell and to see if she recognized any of the names, and that's how she
right.
decoded and figured out Sal's information, and she looked it up, and then doxed her.
But I thought she was referring it to that call that we were all on that day. Because I don't know what is what. Like she just kept changing it when she
Right.
was going on Mimi's live,
She
talking
couldn't
about it.
she couldn't keep her lies straight, and she fucked up
Right.
with us. Yeah,
Yeah,
because she
she
didn't know
did.
that we didn't know that she didn't know that we had that part of the call recorded in which
Hmm.
he lists all of Sal's details, and
Yes, exactly.
then she says, "Oh well, I'm gonna make a troll account, and I'm gonna dox her info in the chat."
Yeah, like she was gonna say her name in the chat,
Yeah,
and that was the same night when it happened, and the next day she came and she was all panicked about. Oh, I no, didn't she say I put her name in the chat on my backup account in the group chat?
yeah. She said, "Oh, I put these random names because I wasn't sure if it was actually her name. So I put in this name, that name, and a different name." And I said,
Hmm.
like, "Oh, where's so and so?" And then Sal said, "Oh, I know that's Chewy in the chat that just doxed me." So then Bayou messaged us in the chat and said, "Now we know that blah 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 is Sal's real name."
Right, but it's just like at that point, like when she sent us the screenshot, like the screen recording, it's like I felt like she knew way before
I agree.
because like
She's
she
known a
was like
lot of stuff that we are just now finding out because of Lady
exactly.
Eve.
Exactly, because we had no idea. Like we do know that she and Susie were always in contact with them outside of the app. Like they would talk
Yes.
to each other like on the phone.
And V can verify that.
So
So
Bayou Bell and I used to talk just about every single day as well. I'm sure it's pretty clear now that everybody knows I talked with Chewy and Rose for hours on end daily. And if I may, while you guys are bringing up Bayou Bell, I would like to say very, very clearly to Bayou Bell, and I know Chewy and Rose, I know you're going to hear this, so I'm going to make this very clear. I know Bayou Bell, I know you sent the screenshot of my work in that chat, and if anyone calls my work or tries to disrupt or take any type of retaliation to me in any way, shape, or form, you might want to step back and be prepared. I'm going to say that real clear.
That is why before I left the group chat with Susie and Bayou, I sent them a message and I said, I can't protect you guys anymore if you choose to continue to support Chewy and Rose. If you do so, you can be seen as being complicit in the crimes. I can no longer protect you because I had secured all of our anonymity. Everyone that was on that call, I had secured all of our anonymity and our protection with Salz. She gave her word that she would not out us. And then when Bayou Bell and Susie got on that panel, they fucked it all up because they knew they were scared. They were scared because I believe they're much more involved than they ever let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I felt the same way as soon as she gave us that screen recording. It was like that was like a big giveaway for me. I'm like, well, she knows more than what we were let on.
Yes.
And mind you, like it's, you know, I did not come back to this app to be involved in some messy stuff. And genuinely, you know, we had our friendship group. We were just, you know, talking about personal things. We were talking about the stuff that we were seeing, and we were talking about cases, and we were joking around. None of that stuff. I didn't anticipate for this to be this bad and for all of us to get dragged into it. It's
Yeah,
not something
in
that I
fact-
wanted to be a part of.
In fact, at one point, we were trying to figure out Lady V because we were trying to protect Chewie and Rose. So we were digging in deep on Lady V. And by digging in, I mean watching her moves. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't like what we were seeing and what she was saying on panels. And we tried to warn Chewie and Rose. And what did they tell us? Oh, we don't trust her. Well, we're keeping her close because she's trying to get close to Salz for us to get her information so we can take it legal.
Yes.
We tried to warn them.
Had to
We
do
tried
with
to help
asking
them.
questions.
And come to find out, they very much knew exactly what Lady V was doing. They had her wrapped around their finger, and they still have Susie.
Right.
After everything that Susie knows and witnessed, she's still, my mind is blown.
I think that part of the call where he mentions me, and I don't know about you guys, but I hear his voice change when he says that, and he almost takes a breath with it. And Lady V,
Yeah.
she would have done anything that I asked. And that's just it, I did. And behind the scenes, your guys' side of the experience is very similar and different in so many ways to what I experienced on my side. And Myra, I'll tell you, one of the things that Elena and I discussed today and yesterday is realizing Chewie strategically placed all of us, specifically me, where he wanted me. And I stayed pretty isolated from you guys.
Yeah.
And looking back, Elena and I discussed, and if I may say it, Elena, we discussed if Elena and I would have talked, we would have figured things out so much sooner.
Well, I knew that we
So much
fucked up.
sooner.
I knew that we fucked up and we went after the wrong person when you were exposed on Pretzi's live and Chewie was in the chat saying, no, we never gave her any tasks or missions, when he had just told us that he knew they sent you to Salz to get her information.
Yeah.
So I knew he was lying at that point, and I said, oh, fuck. We lost Lady V.
Yeah, and then there was like those multiple times before it led to that call. Remember when we were just seeing how he was talking and then he was lying on the panels, and even after the call he was lying and saying like, oh, it's Sal Sardi doing stuff to us. We didn't do anything to her. At that point,
never showed any proof of any of that.
Yeah, they showed no proof. They just kept going with it.
They stated it as fact. Like, we know she's behind these accounts. We know that it's her. Well,
Yeah.
no, you don't. Show me the proof. I beg anyone on Chewie's panel since the call came out, just ask them to show you any shred of proof that Salz has done anything, been behind an account, an IP address that leads back to her, any shred of proof beyond what's been fed to them through the grapevine, the bullshit grapevine that is this pro bullshit community. I'm talking screenshots, like phone records, something, a single shred of proof to show that Salz did anything like that. They don't have it. And if they deny you people, the people who still support him, if they deny you people the ability to see any proof, come on, this is a true crime community, guys. Ask yourselves, why am I being denied my right to this proof when I'm supporting these people? And I bet you guys are taking heat for it too, huh? Do they defend you? Do they come to your rescue? Because they didn't with us.
No, they did not. And the way he said it to us towards the end, it was like, I know this is going to affect all of y'all.
He did.
And I'm like, fuck, like, I'm sorry, excuse my language. It's like, this is not something that I wanted to do. Like, not something that I wanted to be involved in.
I don't know about on your guys' end, but on my end, with every talk that they had with me, and it's almost hard to put into words, when things would be brought up, and then it wasn't always the telling me what to do. There was those suggestive manipulations, as I keep calling it, with, well, if someone did do this, well, if we could get a hold of this, well, if we could find this out, is how a lot of those started on my end. And then it was always followed by, you know how much we love you, you know how much we trust you, and no one else, we couldn't trust anyone else with this, and we're so glad we have you. And literally, to me, with every ounce of my being, I thought I was doing the Lord's work, man. I thought I was out here for the greater good. And
but that's how they made us feel too, V.
Okay.
It's human
I'm glad I'm not
nature.
alone in that.
Because it's just human nature. It's the psychology behind it. People want to feel like they have a purpose. They want to connect through a commonality of a goal, right? Or, by protecting something that's virtuous. Chewie and Rose play off of that psychology with people. They make you feel like what you're doing is something that no one else can do. And they don't trust anyone else to be able to handle certain situations or, be so warm and kind and loving with people. They know exactly what to say, how to say it, and they know how to feed you information. Bayou Bell, are you listening? They feed you information and they hope that that information gets spread to the four winds. And it'll accomplish a nefarious task on their behalf, and they have plausible deniability, and you're left high and dry to be hung by the rope that Chewie put on you himself.
And when you go into comments and you're getting attacked and you don't understand why the two people that you have trusted the most that said they trusted you, they go in there and they don't say a word. And Chewie constantly, just disengage. We're not about the drama. We don't do it. Just disengage. You guys. We don't need to say anything to respond to them. But yet they let you sit on the front lines and take every ounce of heat while they quietly deny you to your face.
But this is exactly like, now that you ladies brought this up, remember, like, Elena, Bayou was on Justin's live and she was getting attacked in the chat. Remember that? And Chewie was on the panel.
Yeah, it was in Justin True Crimes Live.
Yes, in Justin True Crimes Live. Yeah.
Laura May was on the panel. Yes.
Yes, and she came to us in the group chat and she said to us, I was getting attacked in the chat and Chewie and Rose did not defend me. And I messaged them and they didn't say anything. And then she gets a message from Rose about, oh, do you know when Sheena's going to Louisiana? Can you find out? Instead of like asking her, hey, are you okay after what happened on this live or whatever. No, it was just her asking her directly if she knew when Sheena was going to go to Louisiana. Can she find out? I think I have the screenshot of that message that she sent us.
Yeah, because it makes no sense why they would want that. So I think that that was like a test of her, commitment and I don't know. But I do, like you guys said, and I'll go ahead and like name, their diehard people that I know, like Anne and Aleph and Yankee Cajun, which breaks my heart, but whatever. Um, you got like I know, and even Carolina girl, and I heard her say, oh, Sal's talked about you guys every opportunity that she got, she wouldn't shut up, and then she says that um Chewy and Rose maybe spoke about me like less than a handful of times. And that's insane. It's insane because I literally have like in one, not even in all my like other memory things, I was trying to put like a thing together, a folder together, and I had like 65 clips just on one thing. And I was like, this is insane. I can't keep going. Like, there's no way for me to go through all this stuff. Or nobody's going to listen to all this. It's hours upon hours upon hours of him calling me every name in the book and being disgusting and derogatory and saying what he wants to do to me. And that's just like what was public. You know what I mean? And so for somebody to sit up there and excuse him and say that he never said anything and that it was all me, where are these clips? Because I've never heard them. Even if I'm getting up, it's typically like responding to the things that they have been doing and making sure that like making people aware. But where are these clips of me ever threatening him to make him go so far that he has to protect his family? Where are the clips of me saying that I have any info on them or that I put out any info on them, that I ever released any pictures at all of them? Where is this proof? And I'm not saying for me, because Chewy says that he owes me nothing and he doesn't need to give me fucking proof, but for you guys that are supporting him blindly. And I feel for the people who are actually here for the right, quote unquote, right reason, like they believe in what they're doing here and the purpose and the mission, you guys are being manipulated. That's not what they care about. And I'll even give the example of Becca Scoops right now. And again, she's connected to this a lot more than you guys would think. But so she kind of got turned on, right? Well, I don't want to say turned on, but she lost some support, but supposedly she was still gaining followers and, getting traction and blah, blah, blah. Well, last few videos have not been Gypsy. What happened to the Truth Train, guys? What happened to the documentary? I looked up Lori, and she hasn't posted about Gypsy since like early June, I think. And there's been no talk at all about the documentary and, the Truth Train and the momentum and what's happening. Why is that? Because it never existed. It never existed, but they needed to tell you guys something to keep you on the hook, to keep you giving them money. And then once she lost that, she knew she had to move on to something else, which, by the way, she said she would never do. Remember? She said that she would make more and be more popular if she did move on to another case, but she's staying on this because she believes in justice for Dee Dee. So why is she stopping? So anyways, to my point, these people do not care about that. These people that you are like going into and supporting and respecting, yeah, no, they don't give a shit. They just give a shit about your money. They don't care about you at all. So demand that they show you proof instead of just their word, because you have supported them so long and you think they're telling the truth. Ask them to show you proof of anything, of any one little thing, because they're not going to be able to.
As a supporter still, at any capacity of Chewy and Rose, you have that right. You guys realize that you have that right to ask for this proof. I encourage you, please, really ask them for it. I mean, hard, irrefutable proof. Please.
Crystal, what I want to hear from you. What were you saying in the comments?
Sorry, my family just got home. I'm not going to be the popular person up here because I honestly want to know what all happened in the whole call. I'm one of those people who would love to hear the whole call with all personal info redacted. And I don't know if that's possible, but I feel like you and everyone else deserves that, to know what kind of person that he is. And they are.
I agree. I would like the whole call to be heard, but this has been a collaborative effort. It's risked all of our safety to even be at this point. So I feel like that is definitely something that needs to be discussed. But I have to be honest, I can't make any guarantees. I wish with all my heart that you guys could hear the full call. But it's really something that has to be. I need Sheena. I need Sheena, because it's beyond me at this point. It's beyond all of us at this point. But yeah, I would like the full call to be released. But I'm just one voice, and like I said, it does risk all of our safety.
And honestly, I don't want anyone's safety, obviously. Like, I've been doxxed before, full dox, every information out. What I think is the biggest problem right now in this community is that things are being said about the call and the people involved in the call that may or may not be true, and it's hurting other people. Like, there are certain people who are saying that certain people in the call were doing XYZ, and we don't know. Were they doing that or were they not doing that? Like, were they hyping up this whole let's get them, go Chewy, go Rose? Were they trying to calm down Chewy and Rose? Were there other people spoken about on the call? Like, for me personally, as a totally not involved person, I want to know the truth about the call from start to finish, to be able to say, like, and I am not trying to discredit anyone on this panel, anyone who was in the call. Like, listen, how many of our Discord calls were leaked, right? I will stand behind whatever I said in any Discord call. It's nothing that I wouldn't say to anyone, in their face. But I feel like this call specifically has been spoken about, and people are making claims that things happened in this call that are hurtful to other people in our community, and that certain people did certain things that may or may not have happened. So, in my opinion, to clear those people and those other things that may or may not have been said or may not have happened, that with personal information redacted, play the whole call, let the community decide, okay, this or this did not happen. It's being spoken about like a tall tale at this point. I don't think that that's fair to anyone involved, you all included. I know that Lady V and myself, like, we had our own issue on KMAX panel. Like, I did not understand after hearing the private, not so private live, that Lady V would come back and say, oh, hey, what's up? How are y'all doing? When we had already heard she's a spy for Becca and she did XYZ. Like,
right.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm not cool with that. Like, I'm not like, okay, yay, awesome. Tell us all the information. I
agree. Honestly, when you got on KMAX panel and you went after Lady V, I was still of the same mindset. Like, yeah, fuck Lady V. Like, man, she's a double agent. She played all of us. But then I really paid attention to the details, and I look back, hindsight's 2020. And then again, when Lady V messaged me, I was like, I want to believe you. And I had to put aside my own biases, my own perspective, my version of reality. And I heard her out, and she has shown me the proof. And through our own personal experiences that involved Chewy and Rose, she is being honest. And I was wrong to think that Chewy and Rose were not telling her what to do and how to do it. I see now that I was very wrong. But to releasing the full call, I respect that. And I understand absolutely. I've been hearing the same things through the community. that certain people were spoken of and how damaging and re-traumatizing just the unknown of what was said on the call has been. I'm so sorry that these people have been re-traumatized and had to, bring up their defenses again. Again,
Do
I'm
you
in full.
know, was anybody else spoken about? Was anything like that spoken about? I think I know what you're referring to. So,
That's not my place to tell.
okay. All right.
But
I'll be honest, what I'm concerned about, Crystal, and I have not heard it and I want to hear it as well. But what I'm concerned about is there's so much I think that would need to be redacted just from hearing what is all on there. Like I
It's
said,
a-
apparently
yeah.
he goes into his childhood trauma. I think there was something that happened. There was like some sort of medical issue that happened while you guys were on the
yes.
phone, if I remember correctly. So all of that needs to be redacted. Then what happens if you only end up with 3 or 4 hours? People are still going to say that those extra hours, something else must have happened in it. You know what I mean? Like there's always going to be that question about, and he's already saying, I don't know if you heard, Crystal, I played the clip earlier. Is saying that they pieced that together.
Yeah.
Already he's saying that.
Salz heard the unredacted clip and then was sent the clip redacted.
Right.
That was not piecemealed together. That was one solid audio clip.
Is there a way to verify that? Like if I mean, and I'm fine with it. I obviously hold like, I mean, you guys would have to be okay with it, but I hold no ill will about whatever was said in it. But I wonder if there's a way, if you guys could if we could put that part out unredacted. Is there like a program you could put it in to like prove that it wasn't spliced together?
I don't know.
What I will say is the part that we heard, I didn't feel like the redactions were obvious, right? Like you could tell the redactions that you guys made were of Sal's personal information. I don't want anyone's personal information out, including Rose or Chewy. Like I'm not trying to say that, oh, don't like put out the whole call, forget everything. Like I don't want that. It's happened to me. I don't want it for anyone else. The thing is that there's been so many speculations and claims made about this call that at this point it's like, okay, well, did XYZ happen? Did so and so do this or not do this? And look, I get it. Like, we're never going to get every single person on that call on a panel to admit what they said or didn't say, right?
Right.
And I don't expect that. But as far as you want to talk about transparency for the community, like, say, like, hey, here's all the personal information redacted. If people have an issue with that, that's their issue, in my opinion. The clip that Sal's played was enough for me to be like, okay, this person is crazy. This person is not mentally stable. They have issues. But it was literally a very small clip. And since that clip has been released, there are other people saying, well, it was basically not, I'm not even saying that it was twisted, but they're saying that, oh, well, in the beginning of the call, so-and-so hyped them up and had them talk about Salz. And so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. And then other people were spoken about in the call for X amount of time. So I think for the community to say, like, okay, we're going to redact all personal information of anyone involved, play the entire call that we have, I truly think that would be best for everyone to put it to bed and say, okay, here, total transparency, here's what we have. And Lady V, I mean no disrespect when I say this, like when you jumped on K-Mac's panel and were like, hey, what's up? It's totally fine. Like, hey, it's cool. I was like, why is everyone acting like this is cool? Like, this person said in a live that was supposed to be private, not so private, that she was a mole for everyone and working behind the scenes against everyone. Like, I'm sorry, I don't, as much as people think the whole everyone on the pro side and the FBI is, doing all this shady shit. Well, it's coming out that like we're not the shady ones.
Yes.
And we're
Yeah.
not doing the shady shit, but other people are doing shady shit, but it's protected. And I don't like that. And again, I don't mean any disrespect, but like,
Well, I will say this. I have shown some things to 2 people on this panel and a few other people, and I could 100% put everything out there, and I can promise you that when it does come out, I think eyes will be opened, and I can understand and respect your feelings, and I am more than willing to have private conversations, but I've already apologized for absolutely everything, and I have not spoken about everything, and I will. And when it comes right down to it, I didn't mean to pop in any way, shape, or form in any manner of disrespect. I came back for Salz. It took a few people really working on me to get me to come back and start speaking up. And to prove your point on that, I very much agree. The pro side has been blamed for a lot of shit, and I helped by sending clips and making sure people got those clips. And yeah, I'm not claiming to be innocent by any means. But again, I will state 1,000%, I thought I was helping. I thought I was doing something good. And when things were presented to me, at the time, I did not look at them the way I am looking at them now and realizing what I helped do. Do you really think I'm sitting up here proud right now? I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the decisions that I made. And to be honest, I wasn't exactly happy then.
And
But I did it. So
if
if you would like to speak privately, I am more than willing to do that. But I am not going to sit here and air out every piece of what I have done until I'm ready.
and what if I could just add one thing to what Double Standards was saying, I agree. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. I 100% support the full call being released. But I believe that we are going to have, at least 3-4 days of behind the scenes work. It's going to be a group effort of Sal's, me, V, anyone who was on that call who is still wanting to be on the right side, doing the right thing. I suggest you come forward now.
Yeah. Well, and it involves so many people. What if you put it out and then you don't realize, and I'm just playing devil's advocate because I want to hear it, guys.
Right.
I want everybody to hear it.
Well,
but what
here's
if you
the
put
thing,
something
like,
out that somebody is going to be upset about? And
We
not
really
only that, guys, remember all of the girls have come forward and every single one of them, including Susie that still supports Chewy and Rose, say that phone call was to talk him down. They have all said that it was not hyping him up. It was not alluring him into, doing this stuff. All of the girls have said that is not what the phone call was about. Again, I understand not hearing it yourself, not believing that. I just think if you redact as much as of the personal information as you are going to, it's still going to be left up to there was time missed and who knows what happened at that time. That's just my opinion.
I feel like if we can get the very most trusted people in this community to hear it and work on it with us in redacting, to then release it, I think that's the best way to go about it. I know I, for one, would love for Sheena to be a part of that effort. Double Standards, I would love for you to be a part of it as well. And even Susie and Bayou, like, please, I'm begging you, please see the light. come and speak. Speak now, please, because I feel this call should be released. If when it does, you're going to be complicit in crimes. But to double standards, all respect for you. Thank you so much for putting it that way. I agree 100%, but I'm one voice in the effort. So that's my vote. I say yes.
Well, actually, that I think is a fantastic idea to maybe even, because they're the ones who are saying, you won't release the call because it's whatever, so much. So let the both sides, whatever, pick someone, or each person can nominate one person from their side, that they're okay with hearing it and they know that they like won't repeat anything, and you guys can listen to the whole thing, and two people redact it themselves. We can remove everyone from it, and then that way they each have someone that will confirm that nothing was redacted,
Yes.
that shouldn't have been. I
I
think that's a
think
fantastic, that's my vote.
That's my
I
vote as
will
well.
say I'm happy to be a part of that. I think that obviously people that have already been doxxed would be the best to do that because they don't want other people doxxed, right? And they know how that feels. At this point, I think there have been so many assumptions about the call, and also like things said that happened on the call. And I understand that all the people on the call are not on the same page. That is truly like the biggest issue for me and other people in the community. Like, if you all had said like A to Z happened and everyone agreed, it would be a different story. But unfortunately, that's not how it's been in this community about this specific call. And I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be ugly to anyone. Like I said, I'm going to play devil's advocate and say that like there are many people who don't trust people who do these type of things in the back end. All of the things that were said on the little clips that were played make people feel scared and make people feel like, well, I don't want to speak to these people because obviously they are doing all these things in the background. And I'm one of those people. Like, again, Lady V, when she came up, I was like, are you guys kidding? Like, why are you even entertaining this? Like, this is crazy. We heard her say she was a spy for Becca. She was a spy for Chewie and Rose. She did blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't trust spies. I'm sorry. Like, I don't. I'm not a spy, contrary to popular belief, and I don't trust it. And I think that what I'm saying aligns with what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, I can understand that absolutely, but I do think that her coming back and the information that she is able to give us and as proof as to just how deep this goes, the whole community can benefit from this. It's irrefutable, and I do think that at the end of it, the good will outweigh the bad that she played her role in. And I'm not denying that it was a very critical role that she played in dealing damage. Absolutely. But all I can say is I've seen it, and the good that she can do to really unite this community and to come to an understanding of how deep this all goes and who it leads back to. Lady V is the one that unfortunately, she's the only one that we have access to. And to disregard what she says would also hinder us to anyone else who would then want to come forward. So I say proceed with caution, and hear her out, and You know, let's give her the opportunity to do some good, to undo the bad. Sorry,
I
I
never, no,
rambled.
I never meant to disregard her. It wasn't that. It was the flippant and nonchalant attitude that she came up with. If she had started with a different tone and manner in that live, I never would have come up. Like, I was in bed already, I was ready to go to sleep, and then it was like, oh. And then she said, like, no, you didn't hear that. And she obviously wasn't aware that we all heard that private, not so private live.
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, is again transparency, right? Like, we got drug over the coals for a Discord call about copyright issues and how it affected everyone in the community and how people were being talked about and the things that we've been accused of, and none of it adds up. So for me, this whole call, and again, even for Sal's, like, I think everyone in the community would benefit from hearing it from beginning to end, all personal information about anyone involved redacted. That was my only complaint about the Discord calls that Becca got. And she first showed people's comments and their Discord pictures and names. And I was like, this is not journalism. Like, you don't just put people out there to and leave them to the wild. Like, say what you want to say, include what you want to include, but protect people's personal identities, right?
Yes.
I'm not trying to do that for anybody, even Lady V. I don't want anybody to be attacked in real life. That is not at all what I'm saying. Like, the things that have been said about this call, and maybe y'all don't know, but there has been many, many talks of what was in this call that may or may not be. So to me, that's why it's important.
I would welcome, if you could, if you want, because I know you have me blocked, and I've got to respect that. But any information that's been said,
problematic at all, I apologize. That's not a personal thing.
oh no, I don't take it personally. You got to protect yourself and your family. I get it. But if you have anything that you feel I need to be made aware of that I can help answer, please, sorry to Volin told you what to do here, Salz, but please forward it to Salz and she can forward it to me. And if I'm able to answer it, I will readily answer what I can confidently state as my truth, it's fact. And that also goes for, what I may not even be aware of what's been said about the call. Knowledge is power. So please educate me. Send me the information of what's been said, who it's been said about. And, I need a good foundation of what it is we need to expect to set right. And please.
Well, I can say for one that there are certain people that were supposedly on the call that were that was said that they were again hyping Chewy up to go after Sal's and say XYZ, like, she is doing this, she is doing that. If that didn't happen, then that shouldn't be said about those people, whomever those people were. As well as it's been said that other people were spoken about in the call, not just Sal's. So if there were other people in the community that were spoken about in the call, those people also deserve to hear what was said about them, in my opinion.
Yes, there were other people spoken about in the call, but it was to draw parallels back to, it was to relate to Chewy with his situation, his perceived situation between him and Sal's, and one individual and their history with another individual. It was not to, discredit or talk shit on. It was literally to draw parallels and relate.
Right, but regardless of the reason, if other people in the community were spoken about in the call, that they deserve to hear what was spoken about in them specifically, regardless, like, of the reasons or the why, what, where, how. I don't know. For example, if I was spoken about on the call, I would want to hear everything that was said about me personally.
Same.
And
Absolutely.
people in the community are also feeling like, okay, well, X person was told they were spoken about. So if they were, they deserve to hear it as well, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't, if you're going to have full transparency, you need to have full transparency for everyone.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys sent that to Sal's. Like, 100,000%. Like, she deserved to hear what was said about her, but I agree the same for everyone else who was spoken about in the call.
I can say that I had an individual reach out to me and they asked if they were discussed in the call. And I was honest with her and I did say yes, but it was in regards to draw parallels between that situation and the Chewy and Rose situation. And this individual, to her credit, said she knows that the people on the call who came forward did the right thing. She can recognize that. And that speaks volumes to me. And I do think that that leaves room for some reparations to be made. So I agree. If I was spoken on a call, I would want to know because I have loved ones, I have friends, and I have people in this community who I feel I still need to protect. So I agree 100%. Yeah, people who were spoken on the call deserve to know what was said, how it was said, the context, the whole call, I believe, should be released with appropriate redactions.
Sheena's hand is being raised, but I just want to point out too, like, what is that going to be for everyone? Is that going to be like, for everyone's consumption? Because what if people don't want what was discussed about them being, like, where do you draw the line?
I think that that's something that we need to speak about behind,
Yeah.
in confidence, because again, people's safety is at hand, so I think there has to be nuance in how we handle it and, what's agreed upon to be released. But I do think that I would feel comfortable if Sheena were to hear the call in its entirety, unredacted, and then to help advise on how to redact. But again, I don't want to volunteer people's services. It's just I respect Sheena's wisdom and advice above shit. She's like top tier in this community in my eyes. So I think we should speak about this privately, but that's not to say that I'm discrediting your concerns, Sal's. I also can recognize the safety issues behind that too. Yeah. Oh, Becky.
That anybody that was spoken about on the call should be made aware before it was released. And if they want their entire part redacted, I think that's acceptable. If it were me personally and someone was speaking on me, obviously identifying information, name, location, things like that should obviously be redacted. But if this is as bad as you all say, everyone involved should be aware. I'm concerned for Sal's. I'm concerned for anyone else that are in these people's targets. And that is my concern. And I know Sheena wants to talk, so I will mute so she can talk.
Are you wanting me to talk? Did you say me, Crystal?
Yes, Sheena, go ahead and talk.
Hold on, I lost captions. Okay. I think you said me, Crystal. Okay, bear in mind that I cannot hear myself speak, so if you need to speak, just say my name and I'll read it in my captions. But
here's where I come from on it. Some of what Crystal says, I completely agree with. Some I don't. And I'll tell you why. I see both sides of this coin. I think in this phone call, there were some people in the phone call, and you're friends with Chewy and Rose at that point, and you're probably, you know, I don't know what's the word, supporting or going along with or whatever, and you may not want people to hear that, um, you know, but I'm with Crystal on this. Whatever I say, I'll say it full chest. I'm not afraid to make somebody mad or upset. I'm just not. Um, so for full disclosure, I think yeah, the whole thing should be played. On the other hand, um, if I don't care like if it were me you're talking about, for example, in the phone call, I don't care what you say about me. I could care less unless I'm being threatened in some way, like Sal's was, then that's different. Yeah, I should definitely know that. But I think the bottom line is what part was played, and I did hear that what was played was the worst parts. That is a fluid conversation. It was very fluid. You can tell it wasn't pieced together. I mean, you can get out of that, try to get out of that any way you want. Even if you piece those pieces together, it was still awful and horrible to say that about Sal's. And, you know, like Lady V has said to me, I said some fucked up shit. I did some fucked up shit. I'm sorry about that. And she's owned that and showed me pieces of proof that maybe didn't put the best light on her, but she's been honest about it. And I think if you want to play the whole phone call for everyone to hear, if you did say things about Sal's that weren't kind, I think she would understand that at that point, you guys weren't friends. You were friends with Chewy and Rose. Yeah, you're going to talk shit, and it just is what it is. And I think Sal's is woman enough to look beyond that. But I also think what I keep in mind is no matter what was said, the right thing was done in the end. And the people in that phone call came forward to Sal's because they needed to. Sal's needed to know about that. I mean, it still kind of chills me thinking about that phone call because those threats are not they're not to be taken lightly. I'll just put it that way. So I see both sides of the coin. Yeah, the community wants to hear the entire phone call. I can see why people in that phone call don't want it to be heard. But I think as long as the people that were threatened are aware of the threats that were made against them, that is the most important part. But Elena, if you want me to listen to it, I'm willing to do that and tell you what I think. If it's just a bunch of shit talking, I don't really care, you know, for personally. But if it's threats and, you know, things like that, then yeah, that person needs to know, you know. But in the end, no matter who was involved in that phone call, I'm just glad the right thing was done and Sal's was able to find that out so that she could protect herself.
Thank you, Sheena, for speaking. Oh shit. Well, I'm going to be honest. It's up in the air as to whether or not the call still
I think
exists.
too, like you have to think. The community thinks, well, if they don't play the whole phone call, are they hiding things? You know, what are they hiding? And again, I see both sides of the coin. Some people could think, well, what are they hiding? But on the other hand, I think the main things that needed to come out came out. So I'm kind of torn, I guess, is what I'm saying. I'm done.
I just want to say this from my end. Oh, go ahead, Becky. Go ahead.
Sorry. I just wanted to say if you guys are gonna redact it together, like as a group thing, you should keep the childhood trauma part to one that has already heard it. Like, don't share that out with the whole group. That's all. That was just my suggestion.
I just want to say to anyone I have obviously upset, you know what? I tried coming forward. I apologize if, you, Crystal, or I'm sorry, Double Standards, feel that I've made light of anything. You know what? I kind of thought I was doing the right thing by coming forward and speaking because Sal's deserved that on my end. But from this point on, figure it out for yourself then. If I understand you don't want to trust me, I understand nobody wants to trust me. I'm not going to doubt that. I'm not going to judge anyone for that. But this right here is exactly why I didn't come back earlier and say a word. This right here is exactly why I'm not putting out every piece of everything that I could. Because what's going to happen? You're going to find a reason to not believe it. You're going to find a reason because it's me. So that's fine. I won't speak on it again. Salz, thank you for having me up. Sheena, Myra, Elena, you guys are incredibly strong, and your strength is something that I admire very much, and you guys did an amazing thing.
Thank you. Well, you know, I'll be honest, I did talk to my local police about this call, and what they told me is that I did nothing illegal. Now, the reasoning for the recording of the call was because of the stuff that we were being told in the past, and we were just trying to keep notes of, we're trying to basically compare to things that they were saying to us in the past, and then it was like, well, what are they going to say on this call? And we wanted to find out what they wanted to tell us, and that's why the recording happened. But I never recorded anything before that, or because it was out of respect to them, that again, they made us feel like we were trusted and that they loved us and all of that. But I don't know, it's a lot that's been happening in here, and I don't know how to say this. I'm sorry. I'll talk to Elena about this in private. She and I will reconnect. We'll discuss. But I think that the important part was for us to tell Salsardi what happened, and she had to hear what the important part of it. So, Elena, we'll talk about it in private.
Okay. And I just want to put this out there. There was when Mimi's live was happening and K-Max live was happening, there was some stuff that I was not aware of to the full extent. Accusations of, a lot of hurt and animosity to someone's character and their history throughout the community with certain individuals. I'm still not fully aware of the details of what happened. But what I can say is what I've seen from Myra since we connected and we started talking, and with how deep and how fretful this has all been for her and for me. We spent many hours speaking, and Myra has never shown me to be a vindictive person. she is one of the few people that I respect and I admire in this community. And she never showed me a side of her that ever made me question, like, oh my God, who is this person? If anything, she was very open about how much effort she's put into changing her behaviors through therapy. I mean, extensive therapy, and prioritizing her health through healthy coping mechanisms. And I mean, she's really put in the work to be a better person. And that's the Myra that I have come to know. And I'm not trying to, make it so that the version of her that other people have experienced has not existed. Okay. I'm just saying, I see how hard she's been working to be a better person and how hard she's worked to prioritize her family, her relationships, her friendships. And I hope that if the conversation happens to where reparations can be made, I hope that there can be some sort of understanding and some kind of forgiveness. But that's all I'll say on that. And Myra, I love you, and I've missed you. And yeah, we need to talk.
Yeah, I love you too, Elena, and I missed you too. And it's just, for me, it's like people, was I messy last year? Yes, I was. I was very messy. And I said horrible things that I can never take back. And I'm not that person. I'm a different person today. And I don't need to prove that to anyone. I'm working on myself just because I want to do this for myself. It's not for anyone, it's for me. For my family, for my kids. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I understand there's a lot of emotion here, and it's you guys got to remember that, these ladies were all very close. They were all very close with, Chewy and Rose. There's a bond there that has been broken over all of this between a lot of them, a lot of them most of them don't speak to each other anymore, like the girls. And it's that, like I said, that's why I'm kind of concerned, because even with their, strained relationship, all of those girls have said that what happened on that phone call, they have all said that it was not them gassing him up. It was not any of that. And still people question it. And I get that. Believe me, I haven't heard it. I don't have it. I want to hear it. But I also don't want to hear about somebody's childhood trauma. Like, I don't no, that's not something that I want to hear. But the only way that it's going to be proven that the entirety is going to be played and nothing's going to be, taken out that needs to be played is somebody's going to have to hear that. And I just I don't know how to be okay with that unless, like I said, they designate somebody and maybe they'll be okay with Sheena, because I feel like they've never doubted Sheena's credibility, but there's going to have to be somebody else. Maybe it can be Susie. And they can agree, it's going to, and then to ask that of people, to go through a 7-hour phone call. But if they're willing to, and then they can decide together which parts to leave in and which parts to take out. Again, I don't give a shit if, you're on there talking about your fucking political views.
I volunteer.
Anything. What's that?
I said I volunteer as someone who has had their personal information released on a private Discord call. I volunteer. I would never put anyone at risk with any of their information.
Right. It has to be, but that's the thing. It has to be somebody that they are willing to say that they won't question, because if there's two people, like they designate somebody, we designate someone, well, their person could just as easily come back and say, no, 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 there was parts that you left out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What if because I know I don't want to like volunteer people's, services.
right.
I know I have a
Yeah.
lot of respect as far as someone who can really, you know, hear this type of material and handle it with nuance. I feel like, and I'm sorry if this puts you in a bad position, but I feel like Ivory Rose Knows would be an excellent person who could view this objectively or hear this and remain objective as far as like for the anti side. But again, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't even think about her. I was thinking like conspiracy, but like she's already, no, they're already like fucking trying to diminish her character over this, which is so fucked up. Seriously, guys, so fucked up. They made an entire video like saying that, we're not even friends. We barely speak. Um and to try to discredit her, she is one of the most respected people in this, and she's not even just in this community. She covers many, many things, and there is for you guys to do that just to try to save your own asses. It's fucking disgusting. Um, but yeah, I just don't see how it could work without. And then, but again, he could be like, I don't want, that's why I said Susie, because I know that she's heard the story. He could be like, I don't want anybody else to hear my story. And they talk about children in there, right? Like, I don't know. It's just, it's difficult. I don't know. But I get it. I want to hear it too. I get all of the things, but I don't want to compromise anyone. And like I said, well, what happens if, one person says this is personal information, and then but whoever's listening to it doesn't think it's personal, and then they get butthurt whenever you play it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if we could just leave out any insignificant parts. We don't need to hear about political views, whatever, anything that doesn't have anything to do with the community, leave out of it. That's, like I said, that's my vote. Have two people come together that both sides will trust. And I don't know. But again, there's so many different people involved in this. I can't say what will happen.
I won't take offense. I would say choose someone who has had all of that information released about themselves, and that's why I volunteered. Because including my children have been spoken about on this app. Every single part of my life has been put on this app for people to talk about and judge. So that's why I offered. Like but I will not take offense if it's not me. It's totally fine.
Crystal, now that you said, I didn't even think about my fucking information's in there. Like, I didn't even think about that. So whoever's going to hear that, and I totally trust you. I've already sent my shit to Sheena. She like has everything. But yeah, so I have to be careful too, because whoever's going to hear that is going to hear all my shit too. This is so stupid. I mean, I've been doxxed, so like.
Or we
whatever.
provide it to the police, a police report is filed, and we show the documentation for that, and we let the police handle it.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
I'm
Totally
fine with that too.
Yeah.
I agree with the police thing, honestly. That way nobody's information gets out any more than it already is.
Yeah, because I mean, you can have the best of intentions and bring, the most trusted people from the community in to listen to this and try and maintain some sort of objectivity. But ultimately, it's human nature. You have bias. You can't unwrite that from your psychology. So I don't, not to say that, that won't happen. I do still think that we can benefit from having the people who were spoken on listen to what was said about them. But I do think put it to the police, get a police report, show that as proof to the community, and then what happens, happens.
Yeah, I think that would be better to protect everybody involved, honestly, and protect the private information that's in that call. I'm not sure what's all in it, but from what y'all are saying, I think that would be a better idea, honestly. It'd be a safer idea.
Well, here we are. A lot to think about, a lot to
Yeah.
discuss.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I'm not sure where we can have this discussion. um,
Apparently, Discord is cool.
that's what I hear. Oh shit. I mean, it's honestly, it's up to Sal's, because ultimately it goes back to her. Like, she's been the target, you know. So I'll leave it in Sal's hands as to how she wants to discuss this behind the scenes, and I'll be around. Anyone reach out to me if you have questions. I will try to answer them.
Yeah, we'll try to figure out what we can do, what everybody's okay with, and yeah. I'm all up for full transparency. I've never not wanted to do that. Like I said, I want them to put out whatever proof that they have. I've already been doxxed, and there just isn't any. And I don't know. The way that they're twisting it, and I just want to say, for anybody who wasn't in here in the beginning, they are trying to change the narrative and act like this was an attack from, Gypsy's cult, and that we are going at, like, I'm not even pro, I'm anti, but like, I'm somehow working with them, and this is an attack on their character to try to take out creators. And that is not the case, number one. Number two, this man needs help. He's not okay. So let's stop telling him that he was pushed to it, that I pushed him to this, because that is not what happened. He needs help. He needs to not be validated and told that he was justified in this. And he needs to stop blaming innocent people, because the FBI, whatever, Gypsy has nothing to fucking do with this.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Can I just say, listen, I know that people think there's this giant war room table that we all sit at and discuss things. That's not the case. Like, you can believe it if you want to, but it's not reality.
As far as I understand, and Elena, you guys may be able to answer this better, but she's asking, is there, besides the physical threats that we've obviously already heard, is there anything else in the call that's criminal, or you would consider criminal?
The stuff that Susie said.
Yeah, and I would say, Susie, if we end up having to go to the police and provide them with this, please, you need to speak. You need to speak before this gets submitted to the police.
I'm just going to say again, as a person in the chat, the fact that 2 people went on Mimi's panel and 2 people went on another panel, it was very concerning and confusing for all of us.
Yeah, we did have to. We reached a point after we listened back on the call and we heard what was said. We reached a point where we didn't know if Susie and Bayou could clean cut and disengage from Chewy and Rose completely and maintain our trust long enough to get it to Sal's. As it was, it took me days to think about this. It took, like, me, Myra Peachy, we discussed it at length, the pros, the cons, and ultimately we had to do what we had to do, and we couldn't guarantee that Susie and Bayou could overlook their years of friendship with Chewy and Rose to do the right thing. So we had to keep them in the dark, and rightfully so, because come to find out, Bayou knew a lot of stuff that she lied to us about, and Susie is still supporting them. So I think we made the right call, and I think that's what led to them going up on Mimi's panel. They wanted to get ahead of it. Yeah. And then we got up on K-Mac's panel because I want to make it clear. I thought I made it clear on KMX panel, but I'll do it again here. I was the one who asked Myra to record the call because we had had private lives prior in which Chewy said things regarding us warning him about Lady V. And he says, yeah, we know, but we don't trust her, but she's working to get close to Sal's on our behalf so we can take it legal. Chewy doesn't, I don't think he remembers telling us that. And then when Lady V was exposed, oh, of course, we didn't give her any missions. And I regretted not recording that live when we warned him about Lady V and he said that. So I knew from that point forward, I needed to start to document stuff. In addition to that, when Sal's went on Sheena's panel, I don't remember the date of it, but she was saying how people are being sent to her rental property. Solicitors are being sent to her rental property. I said, oh, fuck, this is gone. Sorry for cussing. I said, this is gone real life now. Now we have to document. So when the Booty Bandit clip happened, I put it to my story. I figured Chewy and Rose were going to reach out to us. And sure as shit, they did. So I got on call with Myra and Peachy ahead of bringing in Susie and Bayou for the scheduled call. And we all agreed, and I asked, please record the call. Now, the nickname that we had for Myra in our group chat, we call her 2 terabyte Myra. No one else had the space to record it. Not me, not Peachy. So the only person who could record it was Myra. I asked her to do it. She agreed. We were covering our asses because at this point it had gone real life. They were lying to us. I was talking to Salz, and Salz was revealing a lot of stuff that they said they didn't do or they denied doing. The dog picture and all that stuff, the Florida story. So yes, we entered into the call, me, Peachy, Myra, in agreement that it was going to be recorded. And then I had to work so hard to secure our anonymity, our protection through Salz, to then convince us to be able to give the clip to Salz. So I can understand why Susie and Bayou felt betrayed. They felt like we manipulated them. But we couldn't risk Sal's life. I cannot impress upon you how dangerous Chewy is. Okay? And I know the call hasn't been released. Please just take my word for whatever it is. Hearing him on that playback was terrifying. Because again, I wasn't on the call when he confessed all that shit. So when I heard that, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. And I said, okay, ladies, now it's time. We got to move. So we did what we had to do. We kept Susie Bayou in the dark because we couldn't guarantee that they would keep their mouths shut, that they would be able to disengage fully from Chewy and Rose. We kept them in the dark. We gave the clip to Sal's and we moved. So yeah, they went to Mimi's panel. I don't know why they went to Mimi, of all people. And we went to K-Max. And that's how it played out. Yeah, I agree. Go to the police. Absolutely. Absolutely. But
Well,
it's Sal's. It's Sal's call to make with that.
yeah, I already went to the police on my end and I explained what was being said towards the end of the call, and they told me nothing they can do because the one that would have to do it will be Sal's. And they said to me that I did the right thing by letting her know and giving her that clip.
And to explain things further, again, whether I'm believed or not, I kind of don't care at this point. I had been letting Sal's know for a bit what was going on and what I'd been asked to do. If you guys think the danger in that phone call is the only part to this, there is so much more. And Marley, you can keep ugging me and you don't trust me and you don't like me, I don't care anymore. I don't care. So keep your snide comments to your damn self.
All right, okay, all right. No fighting, no fighting.
Lady,
It's
listen, do you
But when it
understand?
comes down to it,
Listen,
yeah, I understand. You're not going to believe me. I get that.
no,
Thank you, double standard.
I didn't
I
say
get it,
I
okay?
didn't say
You've
that
gone
at
after me
all.
enough.
I
Hang
didn't
on,
say
V.
that at all.
Calm down, calm down. Emotions are high. We can get through this. Let's just listen to each other. Set aside emotions. We got this.
What I'm saying for the community is that there were a lot of things that were released on that private, not so private live, and the community is upset about it. Like, you cannot be, the way that you spoke about things on that live were very, very nefarious. And if you cannot deal with that, maybe you shouldn't be here. And I'm not saying that in an ugly way, but a lot of us heard how you were for lack of a better word, plant for the people that were XYZ people. I'm not going to say who, but you have to understand how people in this community are taking what happened.
Yeah, Lady V, I understand where you're coming from. I really do. Like, I for 4 or 5 months, I was called every single day a liar. Every single day. So I understand. I understand. But all you can keep doing is keep telling your truth, keep being who you are. If you want to step away from it, I understand and I respect it. But um, I'm going to keep going because I know the truth. I know what actually happened. I know that what they're saying is lies, and I'm not going to let other people go down for somebody else's fuckery. Uh, I'm just not going to do it. And so let them question you. The truth is always going to come to light. So as long as you're telling the truth, you have nothing to worry about. That's my opinion.
Can I just ask a genuine question? What would you like to hear from Lady V that could, do you want her to take accountability for how she behaved on that call, what was said? Because I know I've seen the proof. We've spoken at length. And again, I was at odds with her. Like, I wanted to take her down. You know, I thought she was a double agent for Becca. And I mean, when I heard that call, I was like, oh my God. But it was Chewy's reaction that I was like, oh shit. And I told Salz, I said, if you can get Lady V to roll on Chewy and Rose, you're gonna have all your proof right there. And Lady V has had to work extremely hard to recover a lot of the data that she had.
Did you
So
hear the call? I
I did.
mean,
I
not
did.
not the part about Chewy and Rose, not that call. The other call with her friends that she
No,
thought was private.
with Pretzi and Cheeky. Yes, I heard it.
Yes.
I heard it.
So
And
that is why the community is like, hello? What?
yeah,
Like, there are so many things. If you tell me that you were told to send a link to somebody to track their IP address and you relished in that, that's an issue for me and for other people. Like, you
but
cannot say that, like, all these things that she did were so innocent. Like, it was not innocent.
but
The things that came out were not okay.
there are details that Lady V has told me. I guess the best way to describe them is she put in fail safes into the actions that she was taking to set Sheena up so that it would look like she was doing nefarious shit and it would gain Chewy and Rose's trust, or however that dynamic was working. But she made sure that she wasn't actually doing that. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay, you understand how nefarious that sounds, right?
Yeah, again, criminal activity.
Tina?
Criminal activity. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So please don't be surprised and don't be upset that people are like, no, we don't accept this, because I don't personally.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand people's inherent distrust because we all heard the call. It was not good. I mean, it was very, very bad. Again, I can't promise. I can't promise anything. And this may come to bite all of us in the ass. But what I've seen, as what Lady V has shown me as proof, I mean, if you guys don't want to ever hear from her on a panel again regarding this stuff, I think that she can get down with that. But I do think that she still needs to feel like she's in a safe enough space. And if it ends up being just behind the scenes, I hope that I can provide that to her, and anyone else who has seen the proof can provide that to her, continue to keep that safe space for her, because the stuff that she has is detrimental. No one else has it.
I understand that, but if you listen to that entire live from beginning to end, she was very flippant and like, oh yeah, whatever, okay, yeah, who cares? It was not presented how you're presenting it right now. No disrespect, Lady V, but like the whole thing, you coming back, you were like, oh, I was on a call. What? Oh, it. No.
Well, she's in the call. She's not lying. She was really fucking good at what she was doing. So good, in fact, that fuck, I can't say it, but so good, in fact, that we need her. That's all I can say. She was so good at what she was doing that.
But that's horrible. That's not.
I know.
That's
I
not
know
okay.
it's horrible.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna speak for everyone and say it's not okay. And it wasn't okay. I don't want anyone like Lady V or anyone else looking into me. Sorry,
Right.
I don't.
Well, I will say they spoke, and I hope you guys don't mind me speaking kind of for you, but they finally like got together and we were able to speak. Something that Chewy did was like keep people separate, not letting them like kind of talk to each other, because then everybody would know, like they don't, not to compare notes kind of thing, you know? So now that V and Elena kind of got together, they realized how much of a similar experience they had. So that's why they wanted to come out and just kind of, you know, explain the manipulation that they were under. Now, I'm not saying that excuses any behavior that was done, but maybe it'll help to like understand more, to understand like the way that they would talk and like, you know, say, you know, she's doing all this stuff and we're so terrified and she's coming after our family, and would like make them paranoid for them and make them feel like that they had to do this to protect their friends and their friends' family. And that can be like a lot of guilt, especially whenever it's somebody that you really care about. Like imagine if Bree was telling you that, you know, I mean, she would never would, but you know what I'm saying? Like you would want to do everything that you could to like help that person. So I'm not excusing it, but I'm just saying that's kind of what I've been hearing from them. And they've been comparing, you know, their experiences and realizing just how much they were manipulated by these people. And for what?
And
like, for what?
I don't expect anyone to, you know, in one live to finally flip on a switch and be like, okay, we can trust Lady V. No, if anything, trust your gut, proceed with caution, you know, and don't fully trust people online. Like, you can't. You have to protect yourself. You have to keep your priorities straight. So I don't expect anyone to be like, absolutely, Lady V is a pillar of truth and virtue. We can trust her. I'm not asking that. I don't expect it. I think it's healthy to remain guarded and suspicious of everyone involved, including me. I that's the smart way to do it. And I think over time, like, this is not something that can be, forgiven in a couple of lives. It takes, establishing a baseline and a pattern, a history over time to be able to earn people's trust and their forgiveness. And I feel like Lady V is willing to put in that work. And she's also willing to subject herself to people's scrutiny. And I think I can respect that. And I would like to support her as best I can because of because of the conversations we've had and how contrite she is and how broken of a person she was doing all of that. Okay, I'll stop preaching at you. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, I think for me, one thing that stood out to me were the call logs that I got. I mean, Chewy and Rose and Mimi too, were calling Lady V like, God, they were on the phone more than they were not. And her husband too, they were involving her husband in it. And I'm looking at these call logs thinking, good Lord, do these people not ever eat or sleep or anything, and I don't think anyone's saying, Lady V's innocent. Because she said to me,